All right, everybody, welcome. I'm so happy to see everybody from all over the world, and a very warm welcome to Jamie Zimron Sensei.
Gaiishiwaza. Thank you, Brian Sensei.
Oh, very welcome. I've been admiring you for years, and we're so lucky because of COVID. We were given this gift of meeting and working together these past many months. And anyway, I've just been following your work for so long, and I want to just mention some of the things that you've already done and that you've been giving to the world. You're an LPGA Golf Pro, Psychotherapist, Bodyworker, you're a corporate speaker, and a citizen diplomat. And in those capacities, I want to point out a few things. Jamie Sensei started the first ever women's Aikido school in San Francisco. She has been bringing Aiki principles to her work with leaders in the corporate world for decades. She was a longtime member, has continued to work with the Aiki Extensions Board, and among many wonderful projects, played a key role in the Training Across Borders project, bringing Arabs and Jews together practicing Aikido in Israel and Palestine. Jamie Sensei has worked in many conflict regions and brought Aiki principles to places like the Soviet Union, as I mentioned, Ethiopia and Palestine. Among her newest initiatives and things since since COVID-19, Jamie Sensei has been instrumental in co-creating the Summer Solstice Seminars, or the Solstice Seminars. The first one was on the summer solstice. And this is an amazing event that brought together female instructors from many different styles and different regions of many different levels of experience. It wasn't about rank, it was about giving a lot of different people a voice and a chance to share their practice and their teaching with many of us. And I was very grateful to get to be part of that as a participant, as a student. So now we're going to share some footage from Aiki Expo, the first of the Aiki Expos in Las Vegas in 2002. This is Jamie Sensei in action doing something I've actually never seen before, which is Kaishiwaza from Waza. It's really beautiful. So I'm happy to share this.
So the Aiki Expo were such special events organized by Stan Pranin of very blessed memory, who started Aikido Journal and has been just the historian extraordinaire of the Aikido world. Josh Gold Sensei, of course, is continuing Aikido Journal. But Stan Pranin organized these expos, and I was very honored to do a demo with some other senseis. And so we did hear Gaiishiwaza from Waza, which is not commonly done. And it's a wonderful practice. And you can see the principles of Gaiishiwaza. First, we start with the technique, whether it's Ikkyo or Songkyo.
So this is showing Kaishiwaza or counter techniques.
Francis Takashi Shihan mentioning that the counter techniques from Waza. Luke is my very dear friend, wonderful sensei Michael Smith. But you can see it starts with the attack, and then the technique is being put on. You attack, they start doing the technique to you, you counter it. And it takes presence, it takes what I call impeccable connection. Clearly you need to have a grounding in the techniques themselves in order to counter the technique. So that's why we start with what we call kihon, or basic practice, and then we're able to counter the techniques. And what's so important is to not be ahead or behind, like in a Taino Henkel blend. You're not ahead or behind, too fast, too late. It's like the Goldilocks principle and the three bears, not too hot, not too cold. Just kind of right there, present and responsive and able to kind of carry the flow into a new place. And to me, if Aikido is beautiful, Gaiishiwaza is even more beautiful because it's even more flow, more connection, more Aiki. I love this graphic on the upper left where you can really see him moving in with the lower body in the hip. And then, of course, our Ukemiwaza. And I put these pictures in on the right because I think they're important. There's me with Doran Sensei, who was my original teacher for many, many years. And this picture was taken with an Instamatic camera so many years ago. But what I love about it is you can see that he's pretty clear in the center, yeah? And then I'm out there, my hair looks like it's on fire. And the energy, the frequency is just boom, traveling through me. So in the center, we're calm, we're clear. Same thing in the second picture, where I'm pretty clear and uke is like, you can see the energetic vibration on the periphery. And that comes as an extension of ourselves. It's kind of like our energy field, and our uke is reflecting that. And then of course you can see a Swastiwaza technique. Okay. And then I just want to share with you where we're going to go right now. And I call it internal Waza. And I think this is really kind of underneath everything. It's what goes into Kihon Waza. It's a Kihon of its own. And then it goes into outer technique. And I call this the essentials for excellence, universal principles for success, mechanics for the magic. And Aiki, energy, the universe itself, what's in us, it's kind of magical. It goes beyond our rational mind, slice of the pie, and it's like amazing things happen. That's one of the things that people always said about experiencing O-sensei, or when you just even grab a friend and you have them, you go like this and they're like, whoa, wow, that was amazing. It's that magic, but there are mechanics to that magic, and those mechanics start within us. So I've kind of put them together into I call it a body-mind mastery technology. Nothing you haven't heard of, but we get centered. That moves us into our base and our ground. We breathe, we relax so energy can move rather than tension, which stops the energy flow. We need to unify and integrate ourselves and align ourselves, get our left and our right working together, our lower and upper body working together, our mind and our body working together. And then in Aikido, of course, we blend, we don't resist, we move, we harmonize, we go with. Let go, release, our sense of control, and I've got to know the outcome, and I got to pre-plan it and anticipate it and all of that. And then we're in a state of flow. So we're going to go through that quite a bit. Uniting spirit, mind, and heart, body, mind, and spirit. And none of this is new. I love this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, 150 years ago, right? The hero is the man or the woman who is immovably centered. So there's Emerson, even decades, a long, long time before O-sensei, talking about being immovably centered. Okay, so this is this sort of internal Waza that we bring. So what we're going to do is get started, and I want to do a little bit of warm-up Waza. I think it's so important to warm up our bodies. I'm not going to go through that too extensively, but within warm-up Waza, to me, is internal Waza. We want to get ourselves organized at all times. And then this is the practice that we do no matter what any of those Wazas that we're doing. We want to be bringing this internal sense of integration, Aiki mastery with us. Okay, so let's get started. Some warm-ups. All right. So I want you to just take your hands like this, push them out ahead of you, interlace your fingers, and we're gonna roll our spine down. Feet are pretty close together. Roll down, push your hands towards the floor, and stretch your carpals, I call them your mouse muscles. Lift your butt up towards the ceiling, release your head and neck, feel that they're heavy. Want to start to lengthen the body, and bend your right knee, straighten your left knee, and lift that left butt up towards the ceiling. Really stretch your hamstrings, and then change that. Bend the left knee, straighten the right knee, butt up towards the ceiling. Good, breathing. Bend both knees, and then push your hands out in front of you. Stack yourself up, 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 up. Inhale up, bend back, support yourself with your legs, and then up nice and tall. Let's stick our right hip out and push into that right hip so that you feel like somebody's coming here and putting an ikkyo on you. A really full stretch. Good. Inhale up, over. Feel like someone's putting an ikkyo on you, and then push, we call it pulsing, into your hip so that you're lengthening. Good. Inhale up, pulse back, and then stick your hip out and pulse into there. So important to stretch, loosen up the body, get the ki flowing. Good, up nice and tall, hump your shoulders back, and push into that outer hip. Awesome. And relax, breathe. Okay, let's take a right humney and do that again. Dive forward and come on up. Kind of like a warrior pose in a sense in yoga. And just shift your center into your forward thigh and then shift it into your back thigh. So forward and back, like a rowing exercise, but we really want to focus on balance, strengthening your quads, strengthening your balance. You should be very focused, feeling like this is really a ken kamai. You're sharp as a samurai here. Good. And just pump your shoulders back, loosening the shoulders. Excellent. And then we're going to call this flyers. We're going to lift completely as you sink into your base, then lifting the arms. And this is very strengthening to your erector spinae muscles, the one that holds you up. Flip your hands over. So we're working already on our base, our center, our alignment. And we're not forcing anything. You can do it like this, or you can just do it in a very relaxed, full-bodied way. Excellent. Shake that out. And left tum knee, dive forward, come on up. And belly to your forward thigh. So you're connecting your center and your base. And here, center and base. So we could call this assertive. We could call this receptive. Assertive, receptive. Notice that even when you're receptive in Aikido, there's a very powerful position. We're not like getting overwhelmed and negative. We can sit back. So right here, just even feel yourself sitting back in your center and then forward into your center. Good. Okay, let's do a few flyers and extend through your back leg, opening, stretching through this is your big psoas muscle, walking muscle. Excellent. And then flip your hands over. I always recommend doing 5 to 15, build it up, 10 to 25. Try doing 25 up to 100. You're lifting weights. This is very, very strengthening. It's also mentally strengthening. Oh, very, very good for you. Okay, shake that out. Let's move our hips around, center and hips, like a belly dancer, so that your pelvis is like a joint. Okay, so that was moving our hips around. This time, move the weight around on your feet. Just make circles with the weight on your feet. Good. Other direction. And notice how your hips start to move. So if you move your weight around on your feet, and then you can start to do the belly dance thing. So now that should feel different. And the only difference really is your awareness, where you're starting the movement from. So starting way down in our base. Good. Excellent. Okay, let's do one more warm up. Right humney. I want you to make a fist with your right hand. We're going to punch, okay? We're going to do ski, and then we're going to ski with our left hand. And I want you to engage your hip and come from your foot, okay? So, and then you're going to lift your leg, left leg, put it back down, balance. You're going to come down, and you're going to do an uppercut, and you're going to do an uppercut, and then, whoa, you're going to really ground it. Take it into your center and base. Okay, let's repeat that. We're going to ski, ski, lift, uppercut, uppercut, oh. Okay, that uppercut, really draw from the ground and come up your center. Okay, so ski, ski, lift, uppercut, uppercut. Hey, you can even do a nice KiAi. Hey, bring it, everything in. Once more, ski, ski, lift, uppercut, uppercut. Hey, good. Let's change. Left humney. Fun to do with kids, by the way. And we're gonna go ski, ski. Get that hip in there. Okay, lift, balance, uppercut, uppercut. Hey, really ground it and feel that strength. Watch your posture. Your posture is gravity. When you're out of posture, your muscles are tense and working. When you're with gravity, whew, you can relax. So posture is about using the power of gravity. All right, once more, left and ski and lift. Uppercut, uppercut, hey, down, good. Once more, ski, ski, lift, uppercut, uppercut, hey. Good, let's go back to right humney. And this time, let's go yoko, yoko. And up to 2 of these. 2, uppercut, uppercut, hey. Okay, so yoko, again, working from the ground in the center. Feel the flow of energy. This is what we want to feel, is energy flow. So if you just for fun, just do a yoko with your arm, okay? Yoko, yoko. That should feel entirely different from down and then full body, yoko, yoko. And then lift, lift, uppercut, uppercut, hey. Yeah? So yoko. And right to the center, really focus. Boom. And yoko. And lift, lift, uppercut, uppercut, ai. Once more, yoko, yoko. 1, 2, uppercut, uppercut, ai. And let's just do the other side. Okay? So again, we're doing kind of, in a sense, internal waza, warm-up waza. Yoko, getting our body, our mechanics, and when the mechanics are right, the flow is right. We want you to feel the flow, lift, lift, uppercut from the earth, and then draw back, okay? Yoko, yoko, 1, 2, balance, uppercut, uppercut, aye. Excellent, good, shake that out. I want to share with you an exercise I learned many, many years ago. I've kind of played with it in many ways just to find that internal and external energy. I learned this first from Ikeda Sensei, Hiroshi Ikeda Shihan. So what I want you to do is just stand feet side by side. And what you're going to do is bend forward, come back to center, and bend back. Bend forward, center, bend back. Okay, just feel what that feels like. Forward, center, back. Okay, kind of let that go. And I want you to go inside your body. Be warmed up, feeling some breath, some flow, energy flow, blood flow, circulation. And this time you're going to move forward, but the way you're going to move forward is to focus inside your body, connect with, for lack of a better word, your energy, yeah? And then feel this inside energy as you're going forward, push against the inside of your torso and your chest. When you feel that, then you'll feel your body go forward. And then move your energy back to center. Feel your energy move and then your body move. To go back, feel your energy kind of, flows into the backside of your body, and then you move back. Okay, hope you understand that. So you want to feel your energy first. It kind of flows forward, and then that moves your body. Feel the energy move, and that gets you back to upright. Your energy, like water in a bottle, goes back and takes you back. And again, so energy first, then it moves your body. So you move your energy inside your body, and that moves the outer body. Move your inner energy, and then move your physical outer body. Okay, let me know, you can just go like this or like this. Do those two feel different? You notice the difference? Good, okay? So important, because we talk about inner body or energy, but we want to stop and really feel that. This time what you're going to do is think. You're going to use your mind. I want you to have the thought to move forward. Feel how your thought starts to move your energy, and then that moves your body. Have the thought to come back to upright. Notice how that moves your inner energy. Have the thought to go back. Feel how your energy moves that way. And back to center. Okay, so we're going to have a thought, and then we'll feel the energy, then we'll move. Feel the thought moves our energy back to upright. Your thought moves your energy back and brings you back to center. Good, let's just kind of settle there. Feel your energy settle, feel that nice gravity line, feel that organization. You can even kind of clap your hands here, get really organized. All right, so that should feel pretty good, and I dare say rather masterful. Did you all feel a difference between those? Yes, I hope, good, okay. So now if we go back to just the first one, outer body, bend your body, come back, bend your body. That should feel kind of crude, but it feels really different. And now feel how easy it is to just go into your energy body inside and move your energy first and then move your body. Okay, what we're gonna do now is to walk, and we always walk, but I want you to be aware, feel your center. Notice that it's in your hips, that's over your legs and feet, so that there is this intimate connection between your center and your ground. And what you're going to do is walk. You're going to be very aware of, not just walking outwardly. Feel that inner energy, and then foot and heel, heel and toe to walk, and feel that you bring, with every step, bring your energy and bring your center with you wherever you go. Okay? So just walk, feeling your energy move first, and then heel toe, and bringing your center with you wherever you go. This is going to be very, very important in all your waza and all of your Gaiishiwaza, because we always want to be centered and keep connected and moving our energy. This is really being kind of an Aikido master. Okay, great. Come on back. So there's something for you to remember, write down, bring your center with you wherever you go. That takes being conscious. We get way up in our heads. Our society is very head-oriented and upper body-oriented. And even in Aikido, we start, doing this. Here comes variation. Boom, we're doing this. We want to be doing it from here. That's the way energy works. One more exercise. We're going to get into some techniques, some waza. So I'm borrowing this from Qigong, and I think Jan might have shared this exercise. It's a really nice one. It's called Hug a Tree, but it really helps us to expand that inner body and that inner energy flow from our center. So what you're going to do is just stand, kind of lower into your center and your base, and then feel the flow from your arms, and then come and hug a tree. Okay? Nice sized tree. And feel that hugging a tree. Good. Let's start again. And this time, the tree is going to be bigger. All right? So put your arms around a bigger tree. Hug that bigger tree. Good. And start again. So just keep doing that. And each time you do it, let that tree you're hugging get bigger. Feel your energy field in that circle expand. Fill it with your breath. Fill it with your presence. Starting here. And to hug a bigger tree, I kind of have to go down and get more base to really get my arms around that bigger tree. Yeah. And even bigger. Whoa. Feel yourself and feel how you change. And really all we're doing is imagining. So this is mind body. Where we put our awareness, we can really shift and change our state. Okay, great. And just let that get really big. Fill your space. Good. Okay, is everybody feeling that? Those things change a little bit? I hope you feel good and expanded. So, I want you to imagine now, actually, let's get, if you have a bow, Ken, let's just have a shinai here. So, bringing our warm-up waza and our internal organizational waza and flow, energy flow, that's very well organized now. We're going to hold our bokken and just in KiAi. KiAi, of course, is our stance. So right hand me, here's my sword, okay? And move it off center, and feel, you will know exactly where you need to hold that sword so that there's a sense of flow. This is off, this is off. Good. Let's do a shomen. And notice that a shomen starts by going down, okay? And we lever, we have a kukyo, so that we don't lift with our muscles and our upper body, we go down, and that raises the sword. And then we sink into our base and center, boom, and we have a nice flow out the sword. Inhale, so levering up and lowering. Feel the body movement, not the sword, okay? The sword is the expression, the channeling of your energy. Good. So we can come here and around the other way. Boom. And a few left side strikes. Shomen. 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 Good. We were here by the side of our body, okay? We'd lower and bring that right to center, yes? So we were here to center and hips turn, step forward, extension. All right? So we're going to start here, and it's not like lift with the upper body and the arms and come up. No, it's down. This is your power. This is your presence. Right to center, boom, extension. Okay? And notice that we use our arms in Aikido when we go to empty-handed, exactly like the sword. So that was the seam of my shinai, but that would be the blade of the sword. We take that away, here you are. This is your arm. So take away your sword right now and really feel that you know exactly where to raise your sword, how to use your arms, whether that's a grab, it's always from center here, whether it's yoko. So practice if you a waza of the attacks, yes, but with this sense of the flow, the blade, the body movement, body organization, the energetic organization from which that comes. Feel your energy move to raise and move your body and cut, or step, grab, or morote dori. Yeah, everything is right here, and it's connected to your kamae, to your stance. So this is the connection of weapons work, and everywhere you go. So when we do, 8 directions, you're bringing your center with you. This is how that works. Really feel it. Okay, so now we're going to imagine that someone's coming at us with shomen uchi, and I want to kind of go through the stress response. In a lot of ways, you can look at martial arts as practicing stress. What's your stress response? Because we're under attack. What stress? Attack, pressure, fear, threat. It arouses the 3 Fs. Yeah, the 3 Fs, fight, flight, and freeze, which is like, yeah. And we tend to go into the mode when we're in FFF, correct? So it's interesting to take your practice as stress, responding to stress management, and becoming masterful at managing stress. What's really a big advantage right now in COVID is we're not really under so much stress from ukes. I mean, we have the whole situation, but as we're doing our solo and virtual practice, we're not really in so much fear, and we're not so outward oriented because we're not responding to the outward in our ukes out here. We have so much opportunity to be practicing this internal waza, that body-mind mastery technology that we just kind of expressed and working on. All the senseis, all the teachers are working on this in their varying ways. And I really suggest, recommend, urge you, encourage you to take this time and don't just say, I missed. No, this is this huge opportunity without the uke there and without this sort of outward threat to really develop inwardly so much. Develop your inward waza. Okay, so let's go back. Here comes shomen uchi, yeah? And here comes shomen. Imagine here's shomen, and here's one response. Help. So feel that. Just kind of act it out. Help. And notice that this was not that beautiful state we were just in, and kind of probably tight, not breathing, not a powerful position. So this is what happens when we get into freeze and fear, and it's hard to operate. And very common. Help. Yeah. Next one is going to be fight. So here comes shomen. Rawr, and you're going back up against it, and you're struggling, and you're fighting, and results are kind of iffy at best. Maybe you can overpower, maybe not, and feel the emotional state you're in fight. Let's do flight. Here comes shomen, and we're like, no, you run away. Okay, just act that out. Feel what flight's like. And you certainly can't do any waza, much less Gaiishiwaza, in any of these states. Would you agree? Yeah, this is not the Gaishiwaza or the Waza place to be. So this time we're going to have, here comes a shomen, and we're going to do things that we do. Here comes shomen, you're going to enter. Step forward and enter. Yeah? And so we're off the line. But this time what I want you to be aware of is not just, okay, I'm supposed to enter and turn my foot. That's sort of the body mechanics. I want you to feel the energetic mechanics and bring your center with you. Feel the flow. Imagine you're putting your hand on their neck, and this is leading them, yes? And then you're going to step in for your iriminage. Okay? So here comes shomen uchi. We're going to raise to meet them. And let's look at this moment in the technique. As you raise to meet them, I want you to have that sort of hug the tree feeling where you expand from your center. So right here, you're not going to deflect their arm, you're just going to energetically expand from your center. And if you were uke, you'd be going like, oh, what happened? Yeah. So let's do both sides of that. You come and strike. Nage expands their center, and you all of a sudden feel this. And when you feel that, you notice as uke, you're kind of on the periphery of the technique. And then maybe they take you down, maybe you go up for a fall. Yeah. So kind of do the ukemi right now. Strike. They went like that. Nage knocks you kind of off. You're on the periphery. You're going around, down, boom. They throw you. Let's do the nage part of that waza. They come and strike. You raise your arm, but you move your energy in your body and you expand out from your center. That puts them off center. Now you step in. You bring your center with you. You put your hand on. You're not just putting your hand and smashing them. You are flowing your energy, boom. And you've probably felt that as uke, when you all of a sudden you go, down. And ideally you would go down almost like in a wave, so that as nage, what we're doing in our waza, energetically, we expand, energy moves in waves. You touch their neck, they kind of go like that. And now you lead. They're right here, yeah? And when you go like this with your arm, no, you bring that from your legs and feet and up through your body and out through your arm. Whoa, now you step in. And you step in a sense, I think almost all techniques are koshi nage. Yeah, we step in with our center, with our hip, our leg, our hip. And as we bring our center and hip with it, they're falling from your hip and then from your arm. So that would be a nice eri nage, all right? Let's imagine a yoko manuchi coming in. So here's yoko. They're coming with yoko, your nage, and you can, well, on this one, we'll step back, we'll extend our arms, nice kokyo, but feel like those two swords are extending, and they're extending right from your center. Here comes the yoko, right from your center extension, and let's switch to being uke right now, all right, on that. So we know what nage did. They come and strike, you strike as uke, good. You strike as uke, nage was really took the center and expanded, and you're like this all of a sudden. You're like, whoa, you're off center out here. And then they're gonna take you in and Shihan nage, yeah? Do the other side. So I'm gonna strike with my left arm and I strike. Here's nage, expanding, hugging this huge tree out here, extending their energy, taking the center. Nage is offset, uke is off-centered. You're on the periphery, and they take you around, they turn you here, they put your hand behind, and you fall. Great. All right, so let's change that to a ski. So here comes ski. Right? Oh wait, I'm sorry, let's go back to Shihan nage. Let's go back to nage part of that. We did the uke. So here comes yoko man, and we're gonna step back and we're gonna extend our energy. Right from here, it's like a funnel from your center, and it's not just arms, it's breath, energy, expansion. So that you're in the middle, uke is now on the periphery, on the outer orbit, and you're gonna go like this, you're gonna bring them, you're gonna turn your hips and bring them right to your center and extend from your center. So you've got their hand here, right? You're here, but that's all happening from your lower body. So often we're like, yoko man, arms, arms. So we're really working the full body waza, internal energetic waza, and then we're gonna step, we're gonna turn and cut, throw our partner. Let's do that once more. I'll do the other side. They're coming around this way. You see the yoko men? We're gonna, you can either step back or step in, doesn't matter. If I'm in right hamni, I'm gonna be left hamni now. Big extension with a sense it's from here and there. Oh, they're on the outer. Here, we're gonna bring them to our center, spiral that around, and then from here is where you twist your hand into Shihan nage in front of your center. You got to play the ball in your court, not in theirs. Step in. This is a raise the sword. Change directions. Their hands behind their shoulder. Cut. Okay. Let's just change that to ski. So here we are. Here's a ski for kota gaiish. All right, so that's going to be uke. And for nage, what we're going to do is, here comes their ski. We're going to do a tenkan. As we tenkan, you want to kind of use the blade edge of your hand. This is always sort of sword work. Go like this, and as you do that on their fist, you're again expanding from your center. That takes them off center. Okay? So if this was uke, nage goes like that expansion, all of a sudden you're like this as uke. And you're not just going like, oh, they pushed or pulled me down. Not at all. This is irresistible. And this is you've kind of had your center taken. All right, so here we are. For this, we've done our tenkan. We're going to step back, and now we're going to put our hand on for the kodagaish. So often it's like hand to hand. Yeah, kodagaish, kodagaish. I want you to feel your kodagaish starting in your feet and even starting beyond that. There's like a big wave tumbling through, and then it comes up through your legs and feet into your hips, then your hand, then wham. It goes onto your uke's hand. So your kodagaish is not your hand on their hand. It's actually all this energy moving up through your body, proper body mechanics, energy first, and that gets to the hand, and then wham. And that's when you see this beautiful circle, and as uke, you feel like it wasn't even hard to get your feet up and to fly over. You just kind of went like that before you knew it. This way you're like, ouch, oh, it's hard to get up into the air to fall. So one more time, here comes the ski in, your nage. You're gonna do a tenkan, but fill out from your center so that your uke is already off center. You're gonna draw them into your center. Back on the screen. Draw them into your center. As you put the kodagaish on, feel it coming from the ground, from the earth, and then through your body, wham, onto them. Okay? You can even do it just like that. Just take your hand and feel all of this coming. Now we're uke. Turns your hand, wham, and you go flying. So we're really putting the energy into our techniques. Okay, let me just stop here for a minute. These are some ideas for you on how you put this into technique. Let me see if there's any questions or comments so far.
You can unmute yourself if you have a question, or you can type it in the chat and I'll read it for Jamie Sensei.
Anybody?
Feel free to unmute, yeah.
Are you feeling this? I want you to be feeling, yeah? And I hope kind of expanding your body, expanding your energy, expanding your mind, expanding your technique. But at the same time, really bringing it in. You're so fully present and organized in your body. So again, this is the internal waza and the kihon of the kihon, shall we say, right? Good. Okay, so let's move into some Gaiishiwaza. I don't know if any of you did this. If you didn't, I got a chair here. And I've got this sweatshirt on, and I want to acknowledge Atsiri Servin Sensei. She is in Oaxaca, Mexico, a young, phenomenal instructor. And when we did our recent summer solstice seminar, if you weren't there, you can get all the videos online. We put all the recordings online at the Aikido Summer Solstice. Just go to YouTube, it's our channel, YouTube channel. But Atsiri Sensei did the most wonderful. Everyone was just like, wow, it was so much fun and absolutely brilliant. Yeah, when she did this. So here we have our uke. Yeah, here's their head, shomen, yokomen. We can do all kinds of grabs and things. So we're just going to do this for a bit here. I want you to grab the sleeve. And again, we can grab with our hand, but we want to bring our full self into our ukemi. So I'm grabbing, this would be katate dori, yes? Grabbing the wrist, katate dori. Now, my nage, so this is my orange nage here, yeah, is gonna come out to the side, put my wrist like this. This is their hand, yeah? So that we have nikyo. So see if you can feel that. You grab katate dori, they came over here, they did nikyo on you. When they do nikyo, you go down, yes? So this going down is a part of your ukemi, It's also part of the energy flow. In order to do Gaiishiwaza, we need to be very present and feel the flow of the movement. So we're always doing Aikido when we're doing Aikido. It doesn't matter which of those Wazas, they're all Aikido. I, harmony, unity, ki, energy, energetic flow, a way of that. So here we are, we're here. As they take you down, you're going to, in your body, in a sense, keep your balance and exaggerate that. And just like we did that uppercut in the exercise, we're going to come up from center. And when you, let's do that again. Here's the Nikyo. If you're tense and rigid and resisting, you're like, ow, 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 and that's all you can do when you go down. That's your Nikyo. However, if you're in your center, you're connected with the energy flow, you feel this Nikyo, you come down in your base, you lower your elbow, and like the uppercut, you come up. Now I'm going to step in, take my hand, let me turn my chair around a little bit here, you can see. So I had Nikyo, I'm going to step in, I'm going to put my hand on their wrist, change to my Nikyo, and take it to my shoulder, boom, Nikyo on them. Okay? That's fun. Let's do that again. So here we are once more. We could do that from cross hand grab. Let's do an Idori grab. So I'm here, and they go over here. Yes? And then they come, boom, and do a Nikyo. I'm going to go down, but I'm going to be very aware of the energy flow and coming down into my base, dropping my elbow, get my elbow connected, and then I can come here, step around, put a Nikyo on them. Now, we're going to go from Gaiishiwaza to Henkawaza. So stay here. We just did Nikyo, and what you're going to do, here's my left hand, I'm going to drop that again into my center, drop the elbow. Always important to drop the elbows, connect them to your center and base. So I did Nikyo, drop, step in, come around. And now I have Kotegaishi. Okay, so we sort of did two techniques for one Gaiishi. Start that again. We started with Idori. This is Nage, comes over here, puts a Nikyo on me. And I'm going to go down with them, but so consciously, so that I can feel the flow. And maybe there's a little opening. Maybe they just got you so down. But even when they get you down, boom, as they're making a little transition, you got a little opening. You want to find that opening. Drop your elbow connected to your center. Step in. Put your Nikyo on. And now drop that towards your center. Drop your weight in center. Step in. And remember, Kotegaishi isn't just the hand. As you're stepping in, you're feeling this full flow around, around, around. Now you've done Kotegaishi. Now this is interesting. Nikyo and Kotegaishi are inverse joint locks. They're inverse techniques. What do I mean by that? You got one or you got the other. You go this side, you got Nikyo, you have this, go this side, you got Kotegaishi. So let's say that we did a Moro Tedori. Okay? So hold your uke here. Your nage, your uke, and they go like this. They do that to you. Yeah, they started the technique. If you just drop that sleeve for a minute, but keep your hands where they were, you'll notice you got a Nikyo here, and you got a Kotegaishi on this hand. So they're inverses. Let's go back to here. So we grab, if they went this way, you've got a Nikyo on top and a Kotegaishi on the bottom. If they happen to go this way, go out the other direction, and now drop. Look at that, you got a Nikyo here and you got a Kotegaishi here. So you're gonna get one or the other. And if you think about when you pin somebody, you'll find that on a pin too. If you do a standing pin, say a Nikyo standing pin, you let that up a bit, boom, he'll step back and you can roll them over into a Kotegaishi, okay? Or if you've thrown them in Kotegaishi and you're gonna take them over, roll them over, you have a Nikyo to roll them over. So start to pay attention to that. It turns out that Sonkyo and Shihonage are interrelated. So it's really fun to look at what's on the other side of the coin. You never have a coin that only has one side. which is really cool. So in the center, that's us. We're the center of the coin, and we have two sides. And we know we have two sides, two aspects to our character. And we have, you know, shadow and light, and sort of our better and our worse, and our master and our freaked out self. We want to be able to, you know, move there, be the center. All right, so we got either side. Now, it's important to, when you're doing Gaishiwaza reversals, it's very important to first know the anatomy of a technique. This is why the Kihonwaza and the basics and going up through all of your Q tests. As we go through the Q tests, we add on more, you know, Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yonkyo, Shionage, Koregaishi, Kaitenage, from different attacks, Iriminage, etc. You want to really build that up, get that solid foundation. That's why we say when you're a Shodan, you're, you know, now you're ready to start because you got all your sort of ABCs, which you learned coming up through the ranks. You need your ABCs to counter. So, for example, let's say that we were here, we did Morote Dori. We're uke, and then they go like this, yeah, and they put a Nikkyo on us. Now, let's say we could either drop our elbow and take this hand and come around for Nikkyo. So we did Nikkyo to Nikkyo. Okay, everybody do that. Or they can be here, and this time I'm going to focus on my Koregaishi hand. Step in, roll it over, Koregaishi. Okay, good. So let's say that I was, it's kind of hard to do, but let's say that I punched, right? And then here comes my nage, and they put their hand on my hand, and they start taking me into a Koregaishi. So feel that. So you're going to put their hand on, you punch here, their hands on top of yours. You're going around with them, follow the flow, and you can come around and around to a Koregaishi, or come back around for a Nikkyo or an Ikkyo or a Sonkyo or a Kaiten Nage. So when we're in the center, when you're in the center, you're in the center of all these possibilities. The techniques are like spokes on a wheel so that you could do variations. I'm going to switch to the other side. I want you to just take a minute yourself and play around with this. And you can do it from Morote Dori, two-hand grab, or one-hand grab, Katate Dori, Ai-Dori, and play around with it. What did they do to you? How could you follow that around? How would you, change that? Oh, there's a Koregaishi, yeah? Whoa. Here. Oh, I can do that. From Koregaishi to Koregaishi. Maybe I'm going to reverse that. Next thing you know, I'm going into Kaiten Nage. So I want you to feel that when you're in the center, all the Gaishis, all the different techniques you can do are like spokes on a wheel. What they require is the Kihonwaza and the internal waza that's even under Kihonwaza, so that you're very present, you're very connected, you're filling the space, you're breathing, you're organized. All right? Now, one more super duper important point for Gaiishiwaza, and that is this. We start out as uke, correct? They're going to throw us. We strike and they do something to us, or I strike and they're going to take me into Shihonage. Let's just move this aside. So let's just work on this principle, even without that here. So I want you to do is to strike. You're uke, right? Gaishiwaza is I attack. I thought I was going to cream them. I thought I was going to be in charge. Well, they started to throw me. And you're like, wait a sec. I wasn't expecting that. And I didn't know I was going to bump into all this adversity. I thought I was going to cream them. Next thing you know, the Aikido person, well, they turn the tables on you. So in a sense, every technique is Gaishiwaza. Yeah, you were getting attacked and you were supposed to get creamed, but no, you're an Aikido master. You know how to be in your center. You know how to respond, to blend, to use that energy. But now we attacked, they started creaming us, and we want to regain the upper hand in a sense, or kind of take charge of that energy flow. So the principle is this, and you should write this down later, not now. Always keep your inner balance. You want to maintain inner balance even when outwardly off balanced. I'll say it again. Maintain inner balance, even when outwardly off-balanced. Okay? Life will off-balance you. COVID has us all off balance. We're like, what the, yeah? And so we need to know when we're off balanced. We need to maintain inner balance. So what I'd like you to do is do a Yoko Men. So you're doing Yoko Men, and your Nage went like this, starts taking you around for a Shihonage, all right? And then they start putting the Shihonage on. Let's say you're here and you're about to lose it and fall down, get thrown. You have maintained your inner balance in your ukemi. The best ukes are always balanced even when they're off balance, agreed? You've all felt it yourself or worked with an uke who's leaning and, you know, kind of a mess. It's like no fun to, and it's dangerous even to work with an uke who's leaning and off balance. We learn to maintain our inner balance in our ukemi, which is to say, maintain inner balance when outwardly off balance. So here we are, we're about to go down, and this is going to be another level of Gaiishiwaza. So we were doing these ones where we continue the movement. This time what you're going to do, you're right here, you're about to get thrown, and you're going to go from inside and extend ki. So you're going to counter from your inner extension of ki. Your hand, everything gets big, your hand opens up, and now your hand is actually in between theirs. Now you can open that up, step in, and take them to an Iriminage. Okay? So once again, I want to mention two really big, crucial ways that you counter. One is we kind of keep moving with the outer flow, and then we move into the next thing. Yeah, they did this, we go like that, da-da-da-da-da. The other way is to do it from extension of internal energy. We'll do it from a few places. So here we are, Yoko Menuchi, they took you around for Shihonage. And what you're going to do from your center, you're going to extend ki, open the whole thing up, then step in, boom, Iriminage. Or maybe they had you here, you open, you extend. As you step in, you get their arm, you go like this, and now you do Kaitenage. Yes? Or Yoko Menuchi, here comes Shihonage, but I extend from within. My ki is so strong, your ki is so strong. You came in here, you changed the technique. Maybe you came and you, let's see, we were here, we opened it up, we come around here, boom, around, Koshinage. Again, those are all spokes of the wheel. You're the wheel, you're the hub, you're in the center, you can do all kinds of techniques. And the way you do them is not to necessarily decide in advance, because that's working from your head. That's working from control. That's working from anticipation. We want to be like, you know, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the perfect Taino Hanko. Not too fast, not planning on doing it, not, oh, get stuck. Perfect, perfect moment. And it comes organically. O Sensei said, when asked how many techniques there are in Aikido, do you know what he said? In a sense, he had two answers. So one answer, how many techniques are there in Aikido? One. Well, let's go there in a minute. There's infinite. There's infinite. And every time's different because so many permutations and combinations can happen. I've been training, I've been on the mat for 45 years and teaching for, 40 some of those years. And I can tell you, I still do things I never did before. Or I go to someone's class and I see a technique I never saw before. 45 years of doing this, and it's like there's still more techniques. And each one is new and fresh in the moment. Even out of your 4, it's not the same. Iriminage, it's not the same, correct? So when you are really present, which is what we practice to be, and you're with the exact constellations and flows of energy in that moment, because that moment is this moment, the now moment, only one we have. Right? There is no other moment. And you can't do any waza, much less Gaishiwaza, from something before or something coming up. It happens now. That's part of the beauty of Aikido practice, a huge part of it. And Gaishiwaza really brings us so present. because that's where you find your openings. That's where you find the flow. That's where you find it inside or in the outer movement. Got that? So O-sensei said infinite techniques, can't even count them, and they're new all the time. But the other answer he said was there's only one technique. Did you know that? He said there's only one technique. And he never called them by these names. You know, his students described like Kotegaeshi, turn the wrist over, or Shihonage, 4 directions, or Ikkyo, Nikkyo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? His students needed to describe rotary throw, Kaitenage. So they put those words on it. But O-sensei had only one word, and he didn't even call him by anything. If he did, he called it Kokyunage. Kokyunage, that means breath throw. And what's breath? Life. Yes, breath throw, breath of life. Okay, so think about that. And what we did in our internal Waza is to organize ourselves so that everything really is in balance, in order, and is Kokyunage. We're using our breath power. Okay, all right, so I just had a couple other slides, and I know we're just about at our time. We'll finish up. And if you do have questions, I'm happy to stay and hang out. So here is Gaiishiwaza. And we're reversing adversity. Yes, and this is really such a metaphor for COVID, for our lives. How do we stay present, keep our strength, keep our power, keep our balance, keep our wits about us, keep our breath flowing, keep ourselves organized, keep ourselves with an internal balance, even when externally imbalanced, so that we can reverse the situation and kind of get on top of it again, turn the tables, kind of resume or assume a new kind of control and flow so that we can get to the next place. Requires your presence and impeccable connection. And impeccable means that exact. We got to really be there. We are bringing ourselves up to our finest, our most masterful, our most exact. A whole body kind of coordination, which is what we've been working with. Sensate responsiveness. So you need to feel. And part of being present and beauties of Aikido training, we're sensing. And even when we're doing solo practice, the beauty is now we can sense ourselves, as we did when we did that forward upright back. Sensation, feel, and feel where the technique is, feel where the flow is, feel where the opening is. Feel inside yourself. Where's your center? Where's that wellspring of energy from inside? Then we're grounded, and when we're grounded, we have a grounded alertness and openness, and we're grounded so that there's a stability, that strong center point. Now we're alert and open, and then we can move freely within the demands of the moment and the situation. Okay, so that would be some real principles for Gaiishiwaza. A couple other quick things to share with you, and that would be this. This is beautiful. So there's O-sensei. Look at him, so awesome, and he's just like throwing that guy, that uke, away in the air, and the uke's on the periphery, right? O-sensei's like, whoa, and he's like, boom. So O-sensei wrote a lot of haiku, and here's one of my very favorite. Move like a beam of light. So you can see him moving like a beam of light, whirl in circles around a stable center. What a beautiful description of Aikido, of how to live. It's a golf swing. Move like a beam of light, whirl in circles around a stable center. He also said, rely on peace. And peace is that wholeness, that integration. Rely on peace to activate your manifold powers. So when you're going to do any of these wazas, and especially Gaishiwaza, when you drop into your center, you're dropping into peace. You're dropping into wholeness. You're dropping into integration. So we want to rely on that and then come through to activate our manifold powers in our minds, our bodies, our spirits. And then Dr. Tesla, right? We know Tesla. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy and frequency and vibration, which is what we do in Aikido. That's the key in Aikido, and knowing the vibrational frequency and intelligence in ki and energy. And then the last one I'll leave with you here is this. Again, here we have O-sensei and turning things around. I'm sure you've seen this quote of his, but in light of the training the last hour, always keep your mind as bright and clear as the vast sky, the great ocean and the highest peak, empty of all thoughts. So we're not anticipating, we're not controlling, we're not planning. Oh, we're in this magnificent state Always keep your body filled with light and heat. Fill yourself with the power and wisdom of enlightenment. So that's all. That's all we're doing when we train in Aikido. That's your mission, your task, right? And to make peace amongst all the people of the world. And we do that first. We keep our inner balance when we're outwardly off balance. And again, in this period of time we're in, this is our practice. And here we are. We get to really practice this when the time comes that we can get out there. And some of you are out there, maybe out in the park with your weapons. And when we start doing this, you know, physically with each other and not kind of, you know, with a sweatshirt on a chair. But whoa, I think you're all going to be, I hope you will all be wonderfully amazed at this new sense of bearing and flow and presence and power that you've developed in this sort of solo-ish virtual period of time practice. Okay, so that's what I have to share with you. And I just want to say thank you very much and say domo arigato to Brian Sensei for hosting this. And if anybody has a question or comment, we can officially bow out. Time has come. And if you'd like to stay, I'm certainly willing to stay and talk a little more, or answer any questions, or have a bit of a discussion about this. But good? You guys got a lot, I hope?
A lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jamie Sensei. Again, so much gratitude for everything you've shared with us, and everything you're sharing with the world. And I have lots of questions, but I hope others will too. Please stay and ask questions. And I also want to say that, again, we really are so happy that everybody came and that we are getting this chance to do these Saturday events. And I hope the registration got easier. Jamie Sensei helped me with that. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. So if you have any feedback on any of that, please let me know by email. And I do want to say that if you'd like to support the work that we're doing, Jamie Sensei and NOLA Aikido, bringing this kind of Aikido to the world, I'm going to put up a link just to remind you, the PayPal link for that, which is this one right here. Just paypal.me/NOLA Aikido. So we'd appreciate the support if you're able to. Okay.
We really do. And I really want to say, you know, thank you for the support that gives to me, to all the teachers who are instructing, and also to Brian Sensei. He's been doing so much work to keep his dojo alive and to bring a lot of diverse teachers and information to everybody in these really special trainings. So thank you, Brian Sensei. And, you know, it does take a lot of work and a lot of time, and there's some expenses involved. So we really do appreciate that. And thank you, Brian Sensei, for all the work you're doing.
Thank you, Jamie Sensei, again. And everybody, please, so nice to see people from all over the world. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions or chat. If you want to turn your cameras on, if you didn't have them on during the practice, feel free to do that as well. And yeah, comments in the comment section are coming in too. Anybody have a question for Jamie Sensei?
Or a comment, maybe something that this set off in your mind or in your training, that maybe a connection or something that you saw that's useful. Is always nice. Kind of, you know, take away. What are you going to take away from this, or what spurred in you? And if you don't want to say, I hope you will journal a little bit, write about it, talk about it.
I have something.
Sure.
I was just gonna say that I am Shodan, so it's a lot of fun to learn from so many people who have higher ranks and stuff. But today really helped me understand the idea of connecting with your other partner, because it's still difficult for me to do that. I'm still really in my mind. So it was helpful to really just slow down and think about it a little bit and feel it more than think, really. So thank you.
Great. Good. I'll share something with you. I've shared this in other places, but you know, I'm a professional golfer and I teach golf and Aikido KiAi Golf, just at another golf mastery school. Well, I had a student once upon a time in golf 10, 12 years ago in San Diego, and he said to me, you know what, my big problem with golf is the ball. So he was just fine making his practice swings and doing his thing, and then you put the ball in front of him and he just, like, you know, couldn't do it. And it's like, what's the difference between having the ball or not, right? And so what we did was we created a practice where we played, we practiced, and then we played with a ball and without a ball. So what do I mean? We would go on the golf course, 2-3 holes. We'd pantomime, in a sense, everything you do. You know, tee it up, make a practice swing. No ball, but as if there's a ball. See the ball out there. You could use your mind and go, oh, I just hit a 300-yard drive. Or maybe you on purpose, like had it land under a tree and you got to practice a trouble shot. Maybe you're in the bunker and you chip it and, oh, I just sunk a bunker shot or sunk a long putt, or I gave myself an eagle. I never had an eagle in real life, but I just did now. So, right, our bodies don't exactly know the difference between the imagined and real, quote unquote. And so, you know, you get this experience of all of these situations. What a cool practice, right? And then we would do that for 3 holes, and then we go and play 3 holes and we put the ball on them. So now we, you know, ball on, ball off, ball on, ball off. Well, we started to close the gap between ball on, ball off. Got the idea? And in a sense, what's happening right now is we're doing Aikido without an uke. Like, what the heck's that? Yeah. But when we have the uke, when we have the ball, we're so busy hitting the ball and throwing the uke that we don't really take the time to, what's going on in here? And give ourselves some whole new experiences and really focus on the internal waza. So I just can't encourage you enough to embrace this time. Don't, you know, complain about it too much and go, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. Because this too shall pass. We will be back, whether it's in 6 months or a year or in 18 months, we don't know when, but we will be back, okay? We will be back. Hombu Dojo was closed for 4 years during World War II. Did that end Aikido? No. What happened after World War II? Aikido spread all around the world. So this is not the end by any means. And even if your dojo closes or you have to close your dojo or you're limiting your classes, this is not less than. This is and not less important than. This is huge. And we wouldn't take this opportunity unless it was forced upon us. That's true in the world. For the world to do a really big Gaiishiwaza and to turn things around from climate change and every kind of oppression and inequality. I mean, we had to get stopped. So the whole world has come to a halt in an unimaginable way. This is our chance to turn it around. And we begin in here, and we begin by embracing that so that we can come back, reverse it, counter it, and whoa, make some whole new creations, lead the energy in new ways, form it in better, more beautiful ways, healthier ways, etc. So this is really our chance right now. And just go into it as fully, as wholeheartedly, as whole bodily as you possibly can. And with this attitude and with this actual practice. We got to get in our bodies, yeah? And that's what we're doing.
יכול לדבר, סנסei ג'ם?
Yes, מחמוד סנסei.
קודם כל, תודה רבה לך על האירוח. היה מאוד מאוד אימון מהמם. אני מבקש
He said thank you for the training. It was awesome. מאוד מאוד, very, very. Thank you.
כן. ונהניתי מאוד. את יודעת, ללמוד דברים חדשים, זה לא השיטה שלי, זה גם עושה אותי שמח.
Hold on, he says, you know, he says, thank you. He's a karate teacher and he doesn't do Aikido. So, as we know, to do something new is so interesting, it's so challenging, and it's so enriching.
ולראות את החיוך שלך אחרי שעה, זה עושה את האימון עוד יותר טוב.
Oh, bless you. He says to see my smile. He likes my $1 million smile, he calls it. So thank you, Mahmoud.
ואם תארחי אותי...
And all Sensei said, train with joy. You should be smiling.
ואם סנסei תארחי אותי באמריקה שם לעשות סיבוב איתך, אולי אני אשנה שיטה.
He just wants to come to America and go all around, and we'll go all around the world and train. Okay, thank you, Mahmoud.
נהניתי מכל רגע. תודה רבה לך.
Thank you. He said he enjoyed every moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. It was really lovely. I totally agree with this is an incredible opportunity to practice internally and think about those feelings. But I also think it's an incredible opportunity to practice with people all over the world that we would never have an opportunity to practice with otherwise. So thank you so much for sharing your practice. And thank you so much, Brian, for organizing these incredible classes.
Thank you. And where are you?
Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow. That's amazing. We really do have a very international showing here. We're from Israel and Palestine and Kenya and Brazil, Joanna, other places. Cape Town, didn't even know. If you're from somewhere else, let us know. That's so exciting. I'm in California. And Aikido, of course, is such a beautiful language. It's a body language. And where are you? Stancho.
I was going to say, that's the guys in Norway. I was muted. I was trying to say hi to Jacqueline and Stancho and Ellie. Welcome. Välkomna.
Jacqueline, I didn't see you. Welcome.
Or is Jacqueline there? Is it on Stancho and Ellie?
Mm.
Kan ni får trycka på unmute? Just det. Just precis. Hey, Stancho.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, Jacqueline is not here today, but well, we still.
So glad you are. So good to see you. That's Stancho and what are your names? Stancho and Eli? Or Eli?
And Eli.
Yeah, my name is Eli.
Eli? Hmm?
Me, Stancho.
Hi, Stancho.
Yes, we are in Norway, but I'm Bulgarian, and Eli, he's French. It's very international place.
So no Norwegian people here from Norway.
Only
And
the
I was
Look at
hoping
all that light.
some Bulgarians would be here from Sofia. We have
From
Medya
Sofia, yes.
Sensei and some different folks. Hana Sensei, who's Palestinian, has moved to Bulgaria. So I hope to be getting to Sofia, Bulgaria, once we travel again. I have a standing invitation, but then COVID came, so.
And I think Alex Sensei is here too, right? From British Columbia.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, Alex.
Alex, nice to see you.
Yeah. Thank you so
Hi
much, Jamie Sensei. It was wonderful.
Good, good. It's really good to see you.
I don't know how to fix this. Oh, shit. De-dum. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, this is Dina. I am having some issues with my thingy video. Here we go. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. It's been a really full morning, and I looked up at the clock and said, oh, okay. So we had a little minor flooding thing happen in my apartment building and my neighbors. So I've been dealing with maintenance men. So thus, the crazy hair, which at this point in the COVID experience is okay with me. But I just wanted to say good morning to everyone and to thank Jamie Sensei for inviting me to participate. Maybe I'll get the next one.
You'll have the recording if you didn't get here in time.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Is there another one scheduled soon?
Well, Brian Sensei is doing these guest seminars with varying teachers every week, every other week, on a pretty regular schedule. He can tell you about the next one. And this recording he will make available. And again, you can watch it for free, or if you want to make a donation, you can do that and share this. If you enjoyed this class, want to go over it again or share it with your dojo or any of your training partners, please do. I tried to kind of put a lot into it so that you can have a lot of things to think about and practice. Yeah, and worth going over again. And of course, Brian Sensei can let you know about his seminar series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I can send you an email with. They're pretty much every week. We've got one lined up for next week. That'll go out in a few days.
All right, well,
I also want to say one thing about planting seeds, because I see that Katie is here.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Katie. Want to tell us your Aikido story? She's in Arizona and she's in her 30s now, but let's go to our little Aikido story.
So I took my first Aikido class with Jamie when I was a young teen at a youth leadership kind of retreat. And now I've practiced in dojos all over the US and Canada and trained with lots of different teachers in the Canadian Aikido Federation, Birankai, Kokikai, and now I'm back in Birankai in Tempe. And I just love Aikido, and it's always nice when I get an opportunity to train with Jamie. I was just thinking that she taught my first class and now she's taught my last class. So it always feels like I come full circle whenever I get to be with her. So thank you, Jamie. That was an excellent class. I loved it. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And we've gotten to actually physically train together, but if you, I just want to mention that because I love you, Katie, and I'm so thrilled you're doing Aikido. But, you know, I am on the board of Aiki Extensions, always extending Aikido, and you never know what seeds you plant. So I tend to do Aikido with, not necessarily in gis, but in different situations, corporate or golf or whatever, all kinds of sports. And just from doing a little bit of this type of work, you know, we were at a summer camp that had nothing to do with Aikido, but the principles related. And then as an Aikido person, I could bring the somatics, the body practice of these sort of spiritual principles that this camp she was at. And, you know, that was it. Turned on to Aikido. So you never know who's actually going to come to a dojo, start training, or maybe their kids are going to train, or maybe it was a kid and they grow up. And look at Katie. I mean, it's, you know, it's a huge part of her life and who she is and what she does in the world and the way she does everything. So every seed is so big. And what we want to do, this is the other thing that we have an opportunity during this COVID time when we're not so busy in our dojos doing all the regular things we do, is how can we bring our Aikido to the world? How can you share it with people in your family or in your community? How can you share with them? Oh, it would be important to be centered. Here's how you do it, and grounded. Oh, you get calm, you breathe. We're going to try to move with and not just resist and fight against what's going on. So then we can kind of reverse the adversity and the difficulty. We can start to be masterful within, because the outer circumstances are what they are. We need to keep our inner balance. And you can share these ideas, you can share these principles. I was just showing somebody, you know, a Nikyo and a this. She doesn't do Aikido at all, but she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing this class already. So I did this and that to her. She was like, oh my God, what was that? Wow, that was so powerful. That was amazing. And she was just like completely turned on in like 5 seconds. And that's what you can do. And then that way people can come to online classes. You don't even have to be on camera. You can be trying stuff, and no one's hurting you. So this is a good time to start training, actually, and to share the principles of Aikido. And Aikido can grow now. Always remember, Humbu Dojo itself was closed for 4 years during the World War. Was that the end of Aikido? And we're not even in that situation. We've got Zoom. We're training all over the place. We're enriching ourselves, and we can go outdoors and, you know, train in the park or whatever. So this is a very, very rich time in Aikido. Do not think that it isn't, and don't despair of what's going to happen to Aikido. Don't despair at all. Make this more of an Aiki time than ever.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you very much for our class. We have been on online classes for a while, but today opened just like a huge door with this chair exercises, the changing techniques. Is just like, okay, we have a lot of things to work on this next month. So it was a huge inspiration. Thank you very much. And I also made some changings in my uke. So I wrapped a cooking spoon, so it helps to see where is the hand for Kotegaish, and it was good. And I was using this because I have a student who just started Aikido, and I remember Elliot from Jujikan. He started Aikido online, and now he's in presence. So I don't know if it's pretty interesting practicing online for some months, and now he's in presence practicing. So we have a lot to work, and it's really inspiration. So it's just the beginning. Thank you very much.
So happy to join on. I'm so glad we got to, train together. And once again, I just really want to acknowledge Atsiri, A-T-Z-I-R-I, Atsiri Servin, S-E-R-V-I-N, Atsiri Servin Sensei in Oaxaca, Mexico. And, I wrote down, go to Aikido Solstice Seminars. I don't know, some of you may have been at our big seminar in June. We had 15 classes, 15 teachers. We had 3 panels, Aikido and Race, Aikido Principles and Protest, Aikido and COVID. We are planning a one-day event for the equinox, so that will be towards the end of September, and then we're going to do another big Aikido winter solstice. And we are trying to do some really, you know, innovative events and do some new things. Brian Sensei's been really supportive. Aiki Extensions, we're planning a kind of cool event coming up. So you can go to all those classes. They're 30, 40 minutes and they're all online. Aikido Solstice Seminars. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because then you get notified when there's a new one. Once again, you hate to like kind of do this, but if you can contribute, that's always helpful because that keeps us all going and lets us all continue to do this work. We were also very proud that with the Aikido Solstice Seminars that we contributed $2,500 to Black Lives Matter, which was really quite incredible. So we try to give back, yeah, with what we're doing and pick something that's good like that. But please go, you can take all these classes and you can go to Atsiri Sensei's class. I also want to say that we're trying to be kind of out of the box and change things in Aikido. So if we've always had just like the top Shihan and they're the ones who teach and that's the end of that, we're trying to kind of take some of the hierarchicalism out of things. So, you know, we've got some veteran and high-ranking teachers and we've got some newer teachers. And just because you're only, you know, it's a terrible language, right? First dan, second dan, third dan. I mean, we took the dans out. We didn't even say what rank anybody was. And we alternated pretty much, sort of more veteran and younger teachers. Atsiri has only been training for 8 years. Now she is teaching. And we're all like, you know, we were a little bit nervous. Oh, 8 years, you know, what you doing on Zoom? Oh my God, it was genius. It was brilliance. It was incredible. And it kind of changed everybody. And so I can't take credit for using the chair and the, you know, the sweatshirt. Now I get creative with it. And that's what I encourage everybody else to do. I was getting ready for this and I went, no, we could do some Gaiishiwaza the way Atsiri did. So just really be creative with your practice and amazing the things that you can do.
Sensei, I want to say thank you for this seminar. Thank you for messaging me on Facebook and getting me to actually come. That was really nice of you. And thank you very much for all the work you're doing with the Solstice Aikido seminar. I'm really glad to hear that's going to continue. I look forward to the next one. During the class, you mentioned something briefly about all techniques are koshinages. And I found that really interesting. I was wondering if you could expand on that a little.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I mean by all techniques are koshinages, well, we know that all techniques are kokyunages, right? Our breath throw. But what I mean by that is if you think of an irimi nage, you know, you can do the upper body, the arm, but it's really step in. And as you step in, you bring your center with you and you bring your hips, you bring your koshis. So, I mean, I like to just kind of go like that. And my uke is falling down, yeah? Or let's say, morotero kukyunage, I go like this, but it's really step behind. I don't need all that, it's that. And they're kind of falling over my hips, right? And ikkyo, so here we did ikkyo, that next step in, boom, there comes my koshis with my humni. So I like to feel like I'm throwing with my hip, yes? Koregaishi. Here, it's not just this, it's like, boom. Or here came a yoko or shomen, I come here, I'm gonna throw, it's not bend forward and do that, it's like, look, koshi, okay? Now we think koshi is really here when they're literally coming over our hips, but if you think of koshi all the time, which means you're using your lower body. Here comes a kaiten nage, yeah? I'm not just going like this on them, boom, step in. And in fact, kaiten nage really was a koshi nage. And when you step in, this is where you put your knee in their face, right? They're down here and you go, boom, that was really the technique. But we're not doing kneeing them in the lower body and letting them roll away. So I hope that makes sense. And if you start to do everything as like a sword technique, so your arms are here and they're working from your hips, like we did this and this and this. This was activate the hips and come down here and come from your lower body. Let that fountain come up from the lower body. And your hips are involved because your center, that's just anatomy, right? Your center's in your belly, that's in your hips. And then that's your legs. So thank you for that question and noticing that point, Nathan. And I hope that helps everybody. It means that you're really using your lower body to throw. I like to do a lot of practice where we're just standing like this and you're doing everything just from Tai Sabaki, body movement, here comes showing, whatever. You're not going like this. You don't have your hands, yeah? You gotta use your body movement and step in. and throw from the body and the hips. So that's a nice way to practice, actually. And when you actually have someone there, you're not going after them. You're just right here. You're working on your Tai Sabaki, your body movement. That help, Nathan?
Yes, thank you, Sensei. I really like that idea of the hands at your sides or crossed.
Yeah, really nice way to practice, so that puts you back into that internal waza, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
Thank
that.
you, Sensei.
Yeah. Okay. Brian Sensei, domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Sensei, domo arigatou gozaimashita. And everybody again, domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Great to see you all.
Thank you all.
Every single one of you. Love you all. Thank you.